Hey, hey, hey. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ron, aka Ron the Artist, coming to you live. And welcome to Ron's Recap. I'm here today to recap and review the TV show Naomi on the CW, Season 1, Episode 7, titled I Am Not a Used Car Salesman. Interesting episode title, you know? Okay, so let's get into the episode. Let's get into it, folks. It was a great episode, heartfelt, and we got to see some push through moments. We really did, and I really enjoyed this episode, and we're actually getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere with Naomi and, you know, the development of her character, and that's all I wanted from this show. It's like, okay, come on now. It's dragging, but we're finally getting somewhere, and I'm just ready to get to it to see what is really going to happen. What is she really about? What is her origins as she's on a ongoing cycle to search for? You know, so let's get into it. The episode started off with Naomi still being out of it. No, it started off with her still being out of it and slowly but surely waking up from unconsciousness to see Zumbato fighting off guards as it appeared. He was fighting off guards. And he did it flawlessly. Naomi got to witness somewhat of what Zumbato was fully capable of. After fighting off the first set of guards, Zumbato continued to get Naomi out of dodge, ultimately saving her. And I was like, wait a minute, way to go, Zumbato. Like, who saw that coming from Zumbato? Zumbato has been such a mysterious, like, angry, dark character. Maybe not too dark, but very closed off and kind of mean and grumpy, like. So the fact that we got to see a different side of him on this episode at the end of last episode, I'm here for it. Writers. why we could get this side of him a little bit sooner, because Zumbato has been a hole, and I'm just like, yay, finally. Okay, so next up. You know, as he was able to get Naomi out of that room, she tried using her powers. She tried using her powers, which didn't work, and they quickly realized that their powers were being suppressed in that building. So as Zumbato found them in a temporary hiding spot, which was also the control room, he informed Naomi that the scientist lady, Dr. Bell, which I cannot stand that woman. I cannot stand that woman for dear life. She did it for me this episode. But, okay, so Dr. Bell, you know, he informed Naomi that Dr. Bell was trying to repurpose her energy. And I literally had to look up what that meant, like the word repurpose. I literally wrote, I have no clue what repurpose mean. Like, I had to look it up, but I know now. And ultimately, it had me wondering, like, at that moment, what is that woman's true intent? Like, what was Dr. Bell's true intent, you know, outside of the repurpose? You know, even if she were to succeed with the repurpose, what was her intent? You know, if she was able to successfully repurpose Naomi's energy, what would she have done? What was the lengths she would go, and what would she really do? And, yeah, crazy. That question got answered later in the episode, but we'll get into that. Okay, so on to Naomi. She then got down to the root of the combo with Zumbato. Like, why did you save me? Like, what are you getting out of this? Like, why? Why are you here? And what was the intent? You know, why does he hate her? And that last question really got me like, why do you hate me? What have I done to you to make you hate me so much? Right, the girl only 60 years old. Like, she really hasn't done nothing to him. He's only been the one really coming after her or coming behind her and kind of getting in his way of whatever. And that's when things get messy. Then that's when they have, you know, issues. So, yeah, like, he really had no reason to really hate that girl. So he told her he doesn't hate her. He just wanted her to stay away from the info that she is aching to get to. Not only that, because it's also dangerous, and she isn't ready to get the info that she is constantly trying to get to. And ultimately, I agree with that. The thing is, ready or not, Naomi is coming for the intel she desires. Like, for example, look how far she's come and look what she's gotten herself into due to that search. Like, it's a lot. So again, she backed Zumbato into a corner about telling her everything. Like, literally everything. Like, she's like, tell me everything. And he proceeded. He told her, it's better to show you than tell you. And sure enough, he put his hands literally on her face, maybe on this side here, and gave her visuals for days. Gave her visuals, placed his hand on her face to show her memories of his, memories of his down memory lane with him. So, off rip, apparently he had friends before. He had friends before everything changed. On Earth 29 with 2 moons and great memories. So there's some good there in Zumbato. And I was happy to hear that. I'm like, okay. So Zumbato he hasn't always been a bad character or mysterious or whatever the case may be. So I was happy to hear that. That was somewhat of a bonding moment for the two of them. That new bonding moment, that moment bonded the two of them. It lived shortly for that moment, due to the power coming back on, as Zumbato had turned it off and blew, in the control room, due to it coming back on. And then Zumbato had to, he already had plotted an escape plan through the ventilators with only 30 minutes to spare before it filled back up with plasma. No bueno. No bueno. So they had to get out of there. And that was the only way through the ventilators without being seen or captured through a door. So on to Annabelle. Annabelle, she made a visit to Naomi's house, thinking Naomi was there, when Naomi was supposedly to be with her, But when realizing that her parents was like, I thought she was with you, she caught on to the story and saved the story, and, through Naomi's parents. Oh, so now Annabelle has got to wondering, where's Naomi? What is going on? Where is she, as she should. So back to Naomi. As Naomi and Zumbato continued through the ventilators, they took another walk down memory lane, showing how fear activated Zumbato's powers, kind of like Naomi's. As Zumbato was to fall from a boom lift machine, I had to look up the title of that, a boom lift construction machine. In fear of his life, as he fell from it, he started to float within air in front of dozens of people. I'm assuming that freaked him out and the people that's witnessed it out, because he went to a little sad depression moment afterwards, And again, he used that in comparison, like Naomi, like I once upon a time, lived in fear as well, or at least was scared to like live and do things. And that's what activated my power. And she's scared because her life is at stake here. She's 16 and people are real deal trying to take her out. She's only 16 and has a whole life ahead of her. And again, he pretty much was saying like, that is what's going to help you push your ability. That's what's going to help you push your ability. That's what's going to, help activate it. And I think that those are notes that people should take in general. Like, use fear to your advantage. Like, don't let fear hold you back. Use fear as to step forward. Use fear to motivate you. Like, oh my God, this scares me so much that I got to continue doing it. To get better at it and master whatever this is. Honestly, between me and you guys, doing this here, vlogging and, putting myself out there to you guys scares me, but I have a passion for it. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. And I'm constantly going at it. All right, so back to the story. Okay, so back to memory lane. Akira found Zumbato in a bar. Akira was the blue-eyed blonde-haired woman. Akira found Zumbato in a bar, sulking about his recent change, until she showed him the similarities of their recent change. Or at least his recent change. This then convinced him and intrigued him for a conversation where Akira told him that she believed it's all fate, their gifts and others having gifts. I like that. He was saying that he didn't believe in fate. He wasn't so quite sure about fate, so that's what it was. Another memory was cut short when the plasma began to fill the ventilators, causing Naomi and Zimbardo to rush out of this ventilators. At this point, they got no other choice but to hurry up and get out of the ventilators. You know, they barely made it out. Naomi and Zimbardo barely made it out of the ventilators. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Scary. Again, Naomi scared for her life. So back to Annabelle. Annabelle went to see Dee in hopes to find Naomi there. When she wasn't, Dee had just gotten back from out of town, so there was no way she was there with him or in the studio because he would have known. Annabelle kept trying to keep the secret of Naomi being lost and kept lying to him, but of course he knew. So he's like, what's going on? And awkwardly, she told Dee and asked if he could use his powers to find her, not knowing that Annabelle knew about his abilities. That was so funny how she explained it like demonstrate his wings or whatever. He's like, oh, so Naomi told you. He tried to act like he didn't know. He didn't know what she was talking about. So all Annabelle knew about Naomi's appearance was that she had a run-in with Zimbardo earlier that day. So that then took them on a hunt. As to back to Naomi and Zimbardo, skipping more down memory lane about R29 and him and Akira doing good things with their powers, saving people from harm and in fires and disasters. He didn't associate that with superheroes. He just associated that more so with the greater good and doing right for people. And, again, they just looked at it as doing good things in spite of their planet dying. And that was a real moment. So as Naomi and Zimbardo came back from that memory, leaves from the trees came with them back from the memory, which was precious. Naomi's powers was bringing his memories to life without knowing she was doing it. Zimbardo then told her that our powers were not only like no others, but dangerous for that matter. Dangerous. He keeps saying that. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Your powers are dangerous. You are dangerous. I guess because she keeps showing layers of her powers that hasn't been shown yet. I guess I'm assuming to people of the sort or known people. So they went into another memory. They went into another memory of Zimbardo's. He was being hunted down by hitmen of the name of someone by the name of Brutus. Naomi left the attack verbatim, being shook because everywhere Zimbardo turned in that memory, he was running away, and eventually somebody caught him, or at least caught up to him. Somebody caught up to him, so scary. And she felt that. So alarms then went off again, alerting guards on Naomi and Zimbardo's whereabouts. They were located, yet again. Dr. Bell's voice then came in on the speed loudspeaker, commending them for their escape and letting them know that all she wants is one of them. Meanwhile, Naomi not only hears the guards, but she sees them with her x-ray vision, seeing them scattered everywhere, looking for them. Seeing them scattered everywhere with, I guess, beyond like walls, looking for them. Naomi, due to the x-ray vision, Naomi saw an escape route to the stairs, and they went for it, buying them more time for their escape. And at that point, I was like, go, 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 go. At that point, I was like, go, 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 go. Naomi then realized that Zimbardo put his life in danger to save her. They were hot on their trails, coming down to the stairs, hot on their trail, knowing that, she has her whole life ahead of her, Oh, knowing that they couldn't use their gifts in the lab is what I wrote. I'm trying to decode that. How did I write that? But I guess knowing that they couldn't use their gifts in the lab, knowing that, they had no other escape, one of them had to turn themselves in or else. So Zimbardo was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Naomi. It's going to be me. At that moment, I was just like, is Zimbardo doing this to help Naomi, or is he attempting to just gain her trust for manipulation? Because he hasn't really given us much reason to trust him, even though he's showing us a little bit more of a vulnerable side in this episode, and during this period. He hasn't given us much reason to feel like he can be trusted or he is a nice person. So I was, a little alert on that. He then made it a point to her to not, believe everything she thinks. And out to another memory they go. With him and Akira. Akira accusing him and Zimbardo of betraying the 29. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He put Akira accusing Zimbardo of betraying the 29. That allegedly he didn't betray the 29. I like that, the 29. Even though I'm a fan of even numbers, the 29 just sounds dope. Why couldn't it be 30 though? I'm just saying, writers, why couldn't it be 30? But again, I like the 29. I like the way that sounds, so thumbs up. So Akira turned him in and set him up with Brutus' guards for allegedly turning the disc into Brutus when he didn't do that. And Zimbardo claimed he left the planet after that. Lord knows how he got out of that bar that Akira approached him at, because he was cornered pretty much at that point. He was cornered pretty much at that point, but I'm assuming he made it out and left the planet. On to Annabelle and D. Annabelle and D, they went to Zimbardo's car sales shop. They went to Zimbardo's car sales shop to see that he went to Star Labs. And Annabelle then, ding dong, it hit a light bulb like, oh, put two and two together that, Naomi went to go see Dr. Bill at Star Labs. And that's when D was like, she went to go see her. She went to go see her. She's in great danger because that woman is from her research around people like her. And that she's in trouble. So off to Star Labs that they went. They had to go. They had to go get her. Zimbardo then elaborated on how he got into cars and his connection to cars, and that helped him adapt to Earth. Because they're metal, they're pieces, they're things that need to be assembled, unlike humans. So, that helped him adapt to Earth, and that explains why he has a car sales shop. The alarm then went off again, busting up that memory. They were located yet again, so as they ran, Zimbardo made the decision by force to let Naomi go ahead while he stayed behind to fight the guards off, giving himself up to protect Naomi, giving her a chance to escape. Again, because they only want one of them. They cannot use their powers. They can only get so far without being cornered everywhere. And it's unfortunate, but Zimbardo wanted to be the one to, take the bullet. And kudos to him. Kudos to him for that. That was so dope and such a stand-up moment for Zimbardo. So as Naomi, regrettably reached the front door to escape, she decided to go back to help Zimbardo. And I just shook my head at that moment like, no. Why is Naomi so freaking hard-headed? Like, she is the reason that they are in this madness in the first place. I guess she wanted to be noble. She wanted to be noble and do something, but why? Her life was already at a high stake at that moment. Like, damn near a price on her head. Damn near a price on her head. So why? But again, it worked out in her favor. Because she went back. As Zimbardo is on Dr. Bell's testing lab table, she informs him that all she wants is on the other planets. Wait. Oh, that she wants in on the other planets. I'm like, what? She informs me that she wants in on other planets, and Zubato asks her why. Like, once and if you open the portals, does she know the repercussions that may come with? What do you think the portals are going to let in? Are you receptive to that? And she was oblivious to all of that for her own personal gain. If it was a success, he would be teleported to another dimension. And if not, she didn't go into detail. She said, let's just be positive. When I'm sure it would not have been good for him ultimately, clearly. So Dr. Bell then started up her machine to test on Zimbardo, and in comes Naomi, using her fighting abilities and powers to the best of her abilities. And I was like, yes! As much as I really didn't want her to be there, she did it, and she, by herself, she fought off the guards and used her powers, came in full throttle. She knocked out the power again and came in ready to go at it with Dr. Bell and whatever machine she had. And that's just what she did. Tapping into her power, tapping into her power at the best of her ability and doing the damn thing. She tapped into her power and she was able to knock out the machine and save Zimbardo off the table. Like, again, that little beam blocking her and like knocking her power, it didn't work because Naomi gave a bigger and better blast than she's ever gave before, and bam, knocked out the machine, and again she was able to get Zimbardo out of there. So as they got out of there, this stupid woman, Dr. Bell, is still trying to save the machine as now the place is crumbling, the lab is destroying and, about to explode or deteriorating or whatever the case may be. Naomi's good-hearted self wanted to potentially save the woman. Like, no, you got to get out of here. After this woman tried to take you out and probably Zimbardo as well. Girl. So they was able to get out of there, her and Zimbardo, but the fight wasn't over just yet. They still had to get out of the building. Zimbardo knocked a few of the guards out, and in comes D fighting off guards as well, leaving Naomi to finish the job with a powerful blast from her powers. And that was super incredible and noble, the blast that she gave. Like, her powers are growing. She's really realizing the depth of them and understanding them. And that time her and Zimbardo spit together was worthy. So that's it. That's all. Like, she's using fear and pushing fear to channel in her ability. And it's working. It's working. So I'm proud of Naomi for that. For using fear as a strength and overcoming. They leave. Zimbardo goes his way. D drops off Naomi, and he wants to drop off Naomi with Annabelle in the car. Meanwhile, thanking Annabelle for being a good friend to Naomi. Cute. Cute. Annabelle was like, okay, should we exchange numbers by now? Should we exchange numbers now? Should we, call ourselves a team? Like, Annabelle is funny. So, Naomi came in the house to pizza with mushrooms and made by her father, with her mom for support. Even though she had a cute moment with her parents, she still thought about Zimbardo, which led her to bringing him coffee the next day. Continuing the bonding, he then shed a light on her about her parents, being 2 of the 29, until Brutus found out about the 2 having a child, being the possible end to him and being threatened by that, of course. At some point, sidebar, we got to see Brutus. I like to see what this man looks like and what is he about. I'm probably going to Google him and see what he looks like from the comics. We'll see. So again, he was threatened. Brutus found out about the 2 having a child and possibly wondering if that's going to be the end to him. And by them having a bloodline or it's genetically starting is one thing from being affected by it, from exterior, but then genetically happening, he was worried of that. Like, okay, what could that turn into? So he wanted to end that. Zimbardo also informed her that not only did he know her parents, but they were also 2 of the strongest amongst them. That he made them the promise to keep Naomi safe, which led him to watching after her from a distance in Portoswego and every other place that she lived from a distance. But Portoswego was the place where he settled by watching her from a distance. Naomi, at that point, Naomi began to understand it all. Zumbato's presence was only to protect her, even though it came off frightening at first. An understanding moment also, but it hit Zumbato about the word purpose. It hit Zumbato about the word purpose. That word was used a lot, or at least boldly and strategically in this episode, such as repurpose and purpose. Zumbato didn't like the word fate or purpose, but it hit him that purpose and what Naomi's purpose is probably what Naomi's purpose is on that planet, or at least on the universe, or how many universes she's supposed to be at. He suddenly believes that Naomi's purpose is to save their planet with her gifts. Since there's no other gifts like that, what other explanations is there? And that was heartfelt. That was high key being a fire to Naomi's soul. Understanding it all, because that was like the key to the puzzle. That was like the key to the lock that she had been, wanting and seeking. Like, these gifts that I have, why? Like, why? And as she's learning more and more about them, and Zumbato just gave her clarity on, like, your gifts are different like any others. Even D has told her that, like, your gifts are like no other. And because of that, you are a threat and dangerous. But also, she could be the savior to society, the savior to humans, the earth, and galaxies. And I want to see it. I'm now sold. I'm now sold on the series. I've been sold on it, but now I'm really just kind of wrapped up. This episode really sucked me in. And I'm also mad that we won't get another episode until March 22nd. Yes, the CW. Yes, Naomi. I see it. I see it. I'm like, we just got back to it. Like, all these hiatus, and we only 7 episodes in. Like, come on now. Give us the show. It's good. I'm now sucked into it. So, I want to see more. The preview of next week's episode, she's determined. Again, that fire is in her. Now that she has an idea about her purpose, she knows more about it. And she knows more about her abilities. She's determined more than ever to, train and fight and get stronger, as she should, because there's going to be more threats, as Zumbato told her. The bounty hunter is only one. There's only one. And by the bounty hunter not, like, probably going to return to Brutus, so whoever sent the bounty hunter, there's going to be more coming to find her. And they probably had a better off chance finding her at that point where the bounty hunter had found her. Because now that she's in realization of her power and getting stronger and stronger, there's no telling the limits that she's about to obtain. So again, I'm happy to see it. I can't wait to see it. And also, D and Zumbato get to fighting. They got to fighting. They're going to get to fight in the next episode. Probably because of Naomi. They both have Naomi's attention. D was the first positive light, and now Zumbato has kind of made a shift for her, or in her, direction. So D is probably threatened by that, and somebody's intentions are probably not pure, and I can't wait to see what unravels with that. So March 22nd, guys. March 22nd. I'll see you guys then. It was great chatting with you guys. If you're watching this with me right now, we're live on Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is pre-recorded, and it's been taken from Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, please comment, like, subscribe, share the video. Let's talk. Comment. Let me know how you felt about the recap review. Let me know how you felt about the episode. Let's talk about it. If you're watching this on Instagram, let's talk about it. Let's chat. How did I do? What did you think about the episode? Until next time, guys. Peace.